To another edition of Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics. I'm here with head football coach, Coach Kelly. And Coach, last weekend you guys had a very formidable opponent, a blue blood of North Alabama, so to speak. And Alexandria, and you knew Todd Ginn and his bunch would come out physical and they'd come out trying to run the ball. And it was going to be a test of wheels early, but ultimately when that thing got rolling, you guys started clicking at another level and ended up pulling away 48-14. Just take us back to last week and overall thoughts of the game.
I thought the guys played extremely well. They played fast. They played physical. They came out the gate early, just clicking. They won the toss. They won the ball. Kind of see, I think, where they're at this year on the offensive side of the ball. I think they got a lot of question marks. We had a few question marks, and so to see our guys kind of take the scheme that we wanted to defend those guys and then flip that to the offensive side of the ball, take the schemes that they have played in the past and then what we thought they were going to play. Because, listen, Alexandria didn't have spring. They didn't have a scrimmage. You're kind of going off of myth and legend and past and just trying to figure out maybe what they're thinking that they think that you think they're going to think. And so it's a little bit of of a guessing game there. So we kind of just try to get our guys ready to play football. It doesn't matter what defense they line up in. You know your rules. You know what to do. If they give you a 5-man, this is what we're going to do. If they give you a 4-man, this is what we're going to do. If they go man-to-man, which we didn't have to throw the ball, but, we had plans if they did, force us to stop the run into some passing stuff. But early on, I kind of felt like we were winning the line of scrimmage, which is always a good thing. We were flying around on defense. It was extremely fun to see just the guys after what we talked about pregame, 266 days it's been since we took the field, the scoreboard was on in a meaningful game. What are we going to be in 23? And so chapter 1, I think they showed, that we're here, that all the talk means nothing if we don't show up and do our job. And they came to work Friday night. It was really, really fun to see. Obviously, we got a ton to get better and work on. But just the effort and the physicality, that was definitely present Friday. And it was a good environment. I mean, Alexandria is a madhouse of tradition in football in this area. And so they brought a huge crowd. We were here. It was, standing room on. Listen, anytime the fans are packed on both sides, and you got people standing around the fans. It's good. Not just because of scoreboard, because it tells you right now we might be able to pay the bills. We don't want to play one game. Yeah. So it was a good environment. Game 1 is in the wraps, and so it's on to the next one.
Coach, one thing that really was impressive to me, and you may not even have looked in the rearview mirror a little bit, but that team you played in Jamboree went on the road and beat Fort Payne and put up 57 points and 600 yards of offense. So you played 2 very formidable opponents at this point of the season. I know one albeit the Jamboree, one a regular season game, but what have you learned about your guys through those 2 games?
Well, we faced a little bit of adversity in both of in the scrimmage and Alexandria. We had a fumble in the first series, I think the second play of the game. We need to get replay in because he was down. It was one of those things where you could see it on our system. And you can show the referee, but it's like, get that out of my face. Yeah, but we really need to get the replay system so we can take advantage of situations like that. But just sudden change. We experienced that the other day. Sudden change, I think, on the third play. We got on the 3rd and long after a turnover, and then we get an interception. So just being able to handle the sudden change, the adversity in that situation. And then, Scottsboro scrimmage, they were in position on the other side of the 50 with a chance to score to put them ahead in the varsity portion of the scrimmage, and guys were able to come up with a stop there. And so, I mean, it's one of those things where you know, handling adversity and being able to overcome it's something we've seen in the last two. And then talk about Scottsboro, we felt like they're after playing them, they were really good. They're a good football team. You know, they got good guys in the box. Their offensive linemen are gritty. They get after it. What they do and the backs that they have almost fit like a glove in their system. And so I think they kicked their kickoff back because of the heat. So when our game was over, we got the kids out of here and we're finishing up, wrapping up our Friday night routine. And somebody said, "Hey, by the way, I think I heard Scottsboro was up 42-17." And I was like, "What?" You know, which I wasn't really surprised.
49.5.
Yes, and so I texted Coach Bell afterwards, congratulated him. It's a big win for that community. One of the biggest wins they've had in a while.
I think it is his biggest
just because of that being a rival. You know, in a big rival, it's been Fort Payne's way probably the last couple of years for a while, maybe longer than that. I don't know because it's not. Once you get up on the mountain, it's not necessarily my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But you know, meeting Coach Bell, I was happy for him. They've worked extremely hard in the last couple of years since he's been there, and so a win like that really showed we're heading in the right direction.
100%. And Coach, this week I don't have to tell you this. It's you've already made note of it. You got another blue blood of North Alabama, and you got to go travel to them this year at Piedmont. Series tied 38-3 all time, which is incredible, knowing the tradition of these two powerhouse programs. But your mindset heading into this week at Piedmont?
Well, it's still about us. Ain't got nothing to do with them. 38-3. I mean, think about the lack of success that we've had here in the last 20 years against that bunch. And so for the overall series to be 38-38 is kind of just a testament to how it used to be in Cherokee County, you know, prior to, I guess, Coach Smith getting there and them doing what they've done and whatnot. But, you know, again, it didn't have anything to do with Alexandria. It didn't have anything to do with Piedmont this Friday. It's about us and playing to our standard. They're going to be who they are. You watch them on film, they're still Piedmont. You know, they ain't changed the mascot. They got the same colors. I guess is they still play in the same stadium in the same town. So with all the change and the new over there, I know just by watching the film, they're ready for us. They're going to welcome us. They're going to hit us straight in the mouth. And again, it's up to us on how we handle it, what we do, how we play, and don't worry about all the rest of it because, you know, it brings nothing else to the table.
Coach, what is your thoughts on traveling to Field of Champions? I know obviously you love playing at home, but how does that differentiate with you as a head coach? Do you mindset, timing, anything different when you travel to a place?
Not really, because once we hit, you know, a certain time frame, the routine starts. You know, whether we're at home or away, 5:50, first group is doing dynamic warm-ups. We've got songs that we'll play on the dynamic warm-up. So at 5:50, it kind of all, no matter the location, it's time to lock in and go to work. First group's out at 5:55. We're usually heading back in about 6:35 after pregame routine. So it really doesn't matter whether we're home or away. It's just, you know, the guys just doing their jobs and getting after it. We hadn't had a lot of success in the last 25 years against that team anyway, but, you know, especially I think 08's the last time that we've won on the road. And since they've had the turf field, Cherokee County's never been good. So there's a lot of incentives and there's a lot of stuff to be had as far as statistics this and historical that. But at the end of the day, we got a game opponent that wants to beat our freaking tails. Yeah. And they're going to be hunting Friday night. And so it's about our guys and what they want to do and how they want to do it. And it can go one of two ways. You can do your job, or you can let them do theirs. And we'll see Friday night.
Now, in preparation for this game, I know you may be friends with Jonathan Miller. I don't know if you guys know each other that well, but you got to see a little bit of footage on them against Fife. Did you actually go back and check some of the sack stuff out, see some of his formations and plays and stuff he's done?
We don't really have it. I mean, we've got a couple of like common opponents that somehow sacks ended up on some film. You know, that it's different personnel, completely different personnel, different systems. I mean, I feel like in the situation that Coach Miller's in now, maybe he feels like it's not the best fit to full sale change everything. You know, maybe he feels like what's broke don't need to be worked on. You know, they're solid in these areas. Let's do this. And he's been in this thing long enough, won enough games, evaluated enough teams to make those decisions that he feels like best for his team. So just seeing them on Fife scrimmage, they're still a heck of a football team. They've got some dogs. They got some players, tremendous front seven on defense. The offensive line is new, but they still do the same things that they've done in the past as far as, you know, being in the right spots, doing their job, getting in the way, you know, all the things that allows their skill guys to make plays. And, you know, they got a couple good receivers. 22's the new quarterback, but he throws it around the yard really, really well. And so you definitely got to be prepared. There's nothing that says that they're not going to be a good football team when I watch them on film. And so whether they're good or whether they're bad, they don't change our preparation for getting ready for it anyway. Because at the end of the day, it really don't matter who they are and how much they sign up for. We're going to be us for however long it takes.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And Coach, just give us some overall final thoughts heading into this all-important week with Piedmont.
Well, you know, in the past, we haven't really executed very well in this game. I feel like just because the rivalry is what it is, and it affects the way our guys execute, and it affects the way they play. They feel like they got to do something that they, you know, is out of character a little bit because, you know, last week execution was really, really good on every phase. And so then you go, you know, like Piedmont's always been our second game. We've always had a scrimmage, we've always had a game, and then we go to Piedmont. And so last year, Model, we executed much better against Model than we did the following week. And so our guys got to know, like, at the end of the day, scheme, whatever, like, ball's ball. When you do your job, good things happen, and it gives us our best chance to be successful. And, again, we're going to be who we are. And I know that those guys are, you know, we talked last week about talking season being over, and it was great to kind of get on that. But this is their first season. This is their first chance for the other side for talking season to be over. And there's been a lot of talk on that end, on the flip side, negative, positive, and different. They've heard a lot of crap over the last 12 months. There's been a lot of stuff, and I know those guys in that locker room are ready to take the field and get after somebody else and show that it had nothing to do with who was the coach. It was all on us the whole time. It was all player-led teams, all that stuff. If I'm sitting there as a player in that locker room, I'm ready to go to work. And so our guys, you know, they got to know this. I'm telling you, that is a hungry team over there. They got a lot to prove. They got a lot to play for. And so our guys know that. And so anyway, it should be good on Friday night. I know crowds and all that will be just as big. And so, man, if you're a competitor, this is the games you want.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. Coach, I appreciate you. This is another edition of Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics with Coach Kelly here, and we'll be right back here next week. All right, welcome back in to Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics, and we have the volleyball coaching staff in here with us now. We're going to talk a little volleyball for once, and guys, the season's here pretty much. You know, we've had a long off season. I know you guys have been putting in work. We've seen you at play dates. We actually had one of our photographers shoot you at the Geraldine tournament. But I'm going to let both of you guys answer this, and we'll start off with whoever wants to start off with. Before we get into this regular season that we're in now, take us back to the off season and what that's looked like for you guys.
Okay. Well, he does baseball and stuff, and so he's not really there a lot in the spring. But I take the girls in the spring, and we do open gyms twice a week for the kids who are not playing spring sport or whatever. And then as we roll on into the summer, we have open gym 2 nights a week, and then we've done several play dates. We did, like you said, we were at Sneed. We've been at Gadsden State's open summer play date. We did Boaz, and we did Southside, and then we took the girls to Belmont for team camp. The varsity went to Belmont, so we had a good summer. A lot of work to put in the off season. The girls were not happy with how the season ended last year, so they were pretty motivated to improve a lot, before the season rolled back around.
One of the things I noticed a lot, most of our girls played multiple sports, and so I know, like, at the beginning of one season, it's the end of another, and you kind of go from that disappointment of, well, we didn't win state this year, into, hey, we're starting a new sport, let's try to do it here. And I feel like from what I've seen from the beginning all the way through, there's a different level of focus where we're looking forward to being more competitive, to going further. And I really like that. I feel like our spring has been good. I feel like our summer, there were a lot of people in attendance. You can't make that mandatory, but when you looked, everybody was there. There were very few people who missed. And we've got girls going to church camp, which we're proud of. But, as far as attendance and the hard work during the summer, they came and put it in. It didn't matter how hot it was, thunderstorms, whatever. They were going to be there. They were going to be working, and we're really proud of our girls for that.
Find out the true buy-in when they show up on their own. You don't have to be there to tell them buy-in.
Absolutely.
One thing we've noticed as the sports network, volleyball is exploding in the seams. It has gotten bigger each and every year we've been in existence, and it's becoming a dominant sport on the female side of things. Can each one of you guys attest to that? What volleyball, how it's transitioned over the last 10 years, it's went to a whole other level.
I think the big thing, right about the time when Coach played, club was really starting to take off. Club volleyball was. So a lot of the parents now are people who were playing not just high school then, but were starting to play club then too. And they saw the benefits of playing a travel ball outside of your regular season, getting those extra reps. And a lot of times there's college coaches coaching club ball and college players coaching club ball who really know what it's going to take to be on their level. So the girls, if they're at a quality program with quality coaching, they get that during the season. Then they also get that in the off season. So I think the parents who were in that first group who really started making club popular, they've all bought into that. And so the clubs are popping up everywhere, and there are quality clubs all over the place. There's all kind of places for people to play. And I feel like that's played a huge role in it.
Yeah. I'll put you in your opinion.
I agree, and I also think that, believe it or not, that the media, even social media, has played a big part in making the game grow. Being able to watch more volleyball, college level on TV is important. And then, programs like yours that get the word out about, how hard the girls are working on this side of it, and, just getting more interest in the game in general has helped a lot.
It's been a blessing because we've noticed that the more we cover, it's kind of like the feed the beast mentality. Like you get a hot person in baseball, football, or basketball, you just keep wanting to feed them. The more that we put out, the more that people are like just soaking it up. They want more, which we're glad, And then another thing, really good friends with Jonathan Hyde at Springport and Howell here at Champions. Some of those play dates in the summer are their biggest days. And then, Jonathan hosts that Montiano camp there. To have that in this area of the state is tremendous. But let's dive into this season. I know you guys have a lot to talk about your team, and definitely want everybody to know, what have you learned about this group of girls since you've got your hands back on them now? The regular season's here and the bullets are flying, so to speak, for real.
Hunger is a big thing for me that I've noticed. You're always going to have some people who are hungrier than others. If you've got a locker room full of 15, 16 players and every one of them are just starving to death every day, you're going to move mountains. We've got a few that are a little more hungry than others, but you get the impression every day when they come in, they're ready to work, they're ready to learn, they're ready to push, and they motivate each other. They get along great. So I feel like the hunger and the desire to be a good teammate. I feel like that's something that's one of our strengths. We're having a few lulls right now that we need to get out of. Some of them, sometimes it might be a certain serve receiver we just struggle for a minute, but then it also might be a hitter kind of goes into a funk and makes some errors. So right now, if I had to say that one thing was a weakness for us, it's getting into those funks, be it ball control or be it our athletes hitting on the outside or hitting in the middle, hitting right side, whatever. But I feel like that's our weakness right now. But strength-wise, I feel like we've got a whole lot of really good things going. We've got a lot of young talent who's also experienced talent because they started so early in our program. And I feel like we're going in a really good direction, and the season's off to a good start.
Yeah, kind of like he said, like the core of our team is actually our sophomore bunch, who got pulled up as 8th graders. It was a couple years ago that we had 5 out of 7 starters who got hurt and could not play.
Oh, jeez.
Most of which missed the entire season. So we reached down and pulled up 8th graders, and here they are playing a varsity level schedule against juniors and seniors. So suffice it to say, that season did not have a lot of wins, but it's paying dividends now.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids learned to fight that.
Oh, yeah. They battled and they worked hard, and they still do. I've said before, they are a fun bunch to watch because you see them play it now as sophomores, but even last year's freshmen doing things that freshmen don't normally do. You don't usually see freshmen making those kind of plays or swinging that hard and that kind of thing.
You don't see a freshman setter getting her 1,000th assist.
Yeah, she got 1,000 assists last year.
Yeah, she
Wow.
made 1,000. Yeah, she reached 1,000 last year.
Yeah, Macy Lee's incredible. And she wasn't even we made her a setter. She wasn't a setter in middle school. We made her a setter. But that's just a testament. Her, Nevaeh, Reagan, Elson, they all bought in very quickly, and players that surround them. We have 2 seniors that have been dedicated the whole time. They're very good communicators. They're good leaders. Our junior class, again, 3 good kids who work hard, and they all want to be here, and they all want to see the program succeed. And it's kind of like finally, we have a group that we feel like throughout has the same goals that we do and is bought into the culture and creates the culture themselves now. You have a new bunch that comes in like in the spring, and they'll be like, this is how we do it here. This is what we call this. This is how we talk to each other. This is what the expectation is, and like you said, get on board or jump ship.
That's it.
And we've got our JV group that's come in. It's a very good group, but these older kids are I can't even say upperclassmen. These varsity kids, since they're still young too,
Exactly.
These varsity kids have taken those guys under their wing. We do a thing. We have our team divided up into tribes, and we'll have someone as a tribe leader, and she'll have 3 players on her tribe, or however many we have them divided up. And we do different awards for those tribes every day. So if somebody's coming in just really busting it, really enthusiastic, really energetic, we have a 5Es award that we give. It stands for, we've got our 5Es that it stands for. So day in and day out, we're giving awards to those tribes, and they are competitive. I mean, you should see Macy and Ellison when we call out those, because at the end of the day, I'll say so and so got so and so award, and then I'll read off the total that they have for the season, and Macy and Ellison will look at each other like this, or she'll be like, yeah, we got you. So, but I feel like
that's teamwork and competitive.
Yes.
All that. And I feel like the tribes, I think that really helps because they all dress the same color. Like, so whatever the name of whatever this tribe is, tribe leader will tell them, hey, we're wearing blue today. So while we're watching and we see something going on, we don't have to go, okay, which tribe is she in? We're going, man, that blue team is killing this today. So it's a really good thing. But the young girls are buying in, and one of these days, those young girls will move up and they'll be the tribe leaders. So I think it's a big part of our program that Coach, you came up with that idea, right? And so it's a big part of our program. The girls embrace it. They love it. And it's fun for us because if you ever say something to one kid, sometimes you'll see another one going, she's not getting my discipline point today. I'm going to be more disciplined. So it's really helped a lot in the gym.
From your administration here standpoint, I've noticed a big change in the school in general with Bobby Tittle. That guy, we covered him at Ohatchee, and it seemed like
what I loved about Bobby Tillman is he pays attention to all sports.
Everything.
He's not just a football guy or a baseball guy.
Yes.
No, it's everything. What's he been like for you guys as coaches to be under Bobby Tillman?
He has completely changed the culture of the school. Not just athletics, but discipline-wise, attendance-wise, grades, like all of it. And as far as being a boss in general, he's probably one of my favorite principals I've ever worked for. In fact, I told our superintendent the other night, I was like, I don't know if you sought him out or if he just applied, but he's a great hire. Like, he's fabulous. And yes, and as far as our program goes, he has done a wonderful job of encouraging faculty, staff, students. I mean, he'll at our coaches meeting at the beginning of every year, it's always you encourage your players to go watch this game, you encourage your players to go watch that team, you know, and he's always there. Again, with the social media, he's posting selfies, he's helping spread the word about when we have games and that kind of stuff, and you know, he's not a pushover by any means, but the kids still love him, you know, like they respect him, and so do we. And as far as the coaching staff, he's always had our back, always had our back.
He's never too busy. He's one of them walls. Always slow down and listen to you. If you're doing great, he'll pat you on the back and say, "Hey, way to go." If you're not doing great, he'll say, "Hey, that's all right. We're gonna pick it up. You know, keep working, keep doing
Very
what you're doing."
encouraging.
You know, at the coaches meeting at the beginning of the year, he gives about 5 points, and it's always pretty much the same 5 points. One of the big things: take care of your stuff. You know, if you're going to go and spend all this money on this, take care of your stuff. If I find it laying around, does it look like you care? No, it doesn't look like you care. Hey, baseball. When somebody drives up on our campus and it's not baseball season, if they look up there and the field looks like crap, guess what? Our school looks like crap. He said, so we got to take care of all these, you know. So he's got all of his things, and he doesn't rule with an iron fist. Now, I've seen his look, and he can get his look when he needs to have his look. But usually the look is a smile when it's on a selfie or it's greeting somebody going down the hall, it's talking to another coach. Just a real pleasant person to be around. The kids don't feel pressured by him. They don't feel intimidated by him. They feel like, hey, this is one of us. Now, if he says something, I'm going to listen. But this is a warrior. And, you know, when you're not born a warrior and raised a warrior, to come in and be a warrior to the extent that he's warrioring right now, that speaks a lot. That tells people how much you really love and care about your job. And he's forced to make some tough decisions from time to time, like any administrator is. And I feel like every situation has been fair. It's been the right choice. I feel like he listens to his conscience, and he seems to have a pretty good one.
That's good. That means everything in administration, because I've seen some great coaches be destroyed by administrators, and I've seen some great administrators be destroyed by bad coaches. It's went both ways, you know. But yeah, that's great. Here, you guys got it going on.
Yeah.
Facility upgrades, and listening to you guys, and helping out and everything. My next question is, I know you guys got to get back to work, but I'll keep just a couple more questions. We'll be out of here. At this point in the season, with you guys, what is the most important thing you guys have to get done to be successful? Because you've had them for a little while now.
That's a good question. Like I said earlier, I feel like I know what our weaknesses are. I feel like one of our, you know, like I was saying, our main weakness is just being inconsistent.
Unforced errors.
Unforced errors is the thing. So the hard part of that is, you know, with volleyball and, you know, with kids, some kids reach this high over the net, some kids reach this high. You know, you can't teach them all the same. You know, you're getting this kid's hand on top of the ball. This kid needs to be a little more behind the ball. So trying to fix all those different things with different kids who reach different heights. The main thing, I guess the biggest thing right now is you want to hit an aggressive shot every time, the most aggressive shot you can hit. But these kids are having to learn to discern what's an aggressive shot and what's downright foolish. What's going to be the most aggressive shot that I can hit in and put pressure on the defense, as opposed to, ooh, I'm just going to go hit this one hard and you knock somebody's popcorn out.
Yeah.
So
somebody's throwing popcorn.
Right, somebody's grandmother is over there getting hit. So you have to be, I think that's probably the biggest thing, because it's so hard to teach, because like I said, they're at different levels. They're reaching different heights. Their approaches are different, and you're trying to fix those things. So I think that's the biggest thing that we're going to have to improve, is just being more consistent there. You know, serving, a lot of people, you know, equate it to free throws in basketball. Right. You know, if you're a good player, you should spend enough time by yourself, shoot your free throws, you don't miss. Serving is the same way. The only difference is with basketball goal, you're at 15 feet every time the goal's not moving. With volleyball, you've got this toss, and if you hit a jump serve, you've got to jump. but you've also got a coach over there doing this, telling you who they want you to serve. So it's not like you can just step in there and serve right in the middle every time because somebody's libero is usually standing there waiting on that. So that kind of stuff moves, but at the same time, it's up to you as a server to be able to put that ball where you need to put it. And I feel like our serving needs to be more consistent. We serve tough a lot of the times, but we're still making too many errors. So I think fixing those errors and then fixing the hitting errors, I think that's going to be the big thing.
After regionals last year, if you would ask me that question, my immediate response would have been mental toughness. I feel like, and it goes along with these unforced errors that we have to cut out. It's just, knowing, being aggressive and being smart. And like he said, we're not very big. So we have to play faster and we have to play smarter. We have to be able to hit good shots and that kind of thing. And a lot of that goes along with right here, like we preach fundamentals and we need them in the game to be able to trust that and not get, so bogged down with all the pressure that they kind of flip out, I guess, And so, unforced errors and mental toughness is what I would say.
Coach, right back to you. Then we're going to close up here. Both of you guys comment on this. Just final thoughts right now of the overall team and what we got to do this week to be successful.
I would say that the feeling that I have right now is being proud, being hopeful, and I guess that goes back to I know where we've been. Like I said, 2 years ago we won 9 ball games. Last year we won 30. We won the first area championship in, I don't even know, 2000 something. And then we made the first regional appearance since 2015, I think.
That's amazing.
And so, they've come a long way, but we see where they can go. We see what they can do when we cut out these errors. When, if we cut out the errors that we made Saturday, we're 6-0 right now. Even against, ranked opponents, we were playing pretty well, but we gave away too many free points. So I think if we cut that out, I told them Saturday, we can be exactly where we want to be at the end of the year. We got kids that have the opportunity to play in college, multiple kids, and and that's what we want. And we try our best to help them not just become better athletes, but become better people. And I don't know, we couldn't ask for better kids. I mean, our kids they represent us well on the court, off the court. I mean, you name it. They're honest, they're loyal, they work hard, they're great in the classroom, their behavior is on point. So, the future's whatever they make it.
That's good.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because that leads into what I was going to say. The old country song, "She Don't Know She's Beautiful." I realize the grammar's not there. She doesn't know she's beautiful. Anyway, we've got beautiful kids. I mean, the things that she was just saying, beautiful, beautiful people, top to bottom in our program. They don't know how good they are.
Right.
That's my thought. They realize how beautiful they are because we tell them all the time, hey, that is awesome. I love I love how you're treating these people. I love how you're doing this. We've got a circle. We've got a list of things that are in the circle, and there's a billion things outside the circle. And so we keep our stuff, you stay inside the circle. You do the things that are inside the circle. You stay away from all that mess, leave all that out there. And the circle gets tight, nothing can squeeze in. All right, so we block everything out. So the girls are amazing about that kind of stuff. Beautiful, but they just don't know how good they are. And we'll have one of those moments where we go on about a 10-point run, and it's so fun, and everybody's just bouncing around, and everything's great, and they're just loving it. But we don't have enough of those because we don't realize that we're good enough to be doing that all the time, not just against bad opponents, but against good opponents.
Yes.
And I feel like once we start realizing, hey, we can do this against everybody.
Yes.
We talk about thermostats and thermometers.
Yes.
You can set the thermostat to high. It's going to get hot. We don't want to be the ones who judge the heat or react to the heat. We don't want to come in and some other team just be on fire and us go, man, we better play, or man, we're being killed. We want to be the thermostat. We want to be the one. We want to come in here and set that tone, and everybody else have to play to us, as opposed to us going, we better step up and match their energy.
Right.
We want every single opponent matching our energy.
We just got to bust through our own glass ceiling.
That's awesome. I love it. You guys got me fired up.
Well, we'll be here this afternoon.
Hey, you guys, we definitely want to keep you guys coming in as much as possible to, on the show on Tuesday. this. As much as you guys get up here and film with us, we want that. Sure.
We appreciate
We'll
the
be glad
opportunity.
to.
Appreciate you guys.
And our girls appreciate you guys covering
Yes,
this. Our girls and
very
their
much so.
parents, they keep up closely with us.
Oh
Very
yeah, I
much
seen
so.
a lot of them got shared. So yeah, we'll try to be over here as much as possible. I'd be over here today, but I have a live show I got to do in Gunnersville, but we'll definitely be back out and see you guys.
Sounds
All
great.
right, we're gonna shut this portion down, and we'll be back next week with Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics. Thank you. Thanks.